Shalom Bacha, Hosh Omadid, and welcome to this new stream of Las Plumas de Simur. My name is Plumas and I'm going to be your host, I forgot what the name of the person guide in Dante on the Inferno was, but that guy. I'm going to be that guy and that guide also today as we venture into the dreaming, which is very fitting because I am in the midst of listening to the Sandman audiobook. So I am like quite in the mood for that. Salam Serapis, so thank you so much, Azizam, for the subscription. 13 months. I like that. Hello, Gatsalot. How are you? Eli, salam. Hoshomadi, how are you? First ever intervention in the chat. You're very welcome here. Welcome to the mountain and welcome to the madness and the craziness that is Las Plumas de Simur, a family that grows slowly but steadily. How is everyone doing? I am tall. Can you hear me properly? Is this a good volume for the mic? Because I'm not sitting in my regular chair. I am sitting in I don't know how to describe this one. It is described as a knee chair. You know, one of these which is like you put all the weight on your knees and then there's no back of the chair. Salam Eric. Oh, you can hear me properly. How am I? I am tired. I am very tired. It's being work. It's been a thing, but I'm trying to, I feel like I am like kilometers. I don't know what a mile is. I don't know what I even dare to use that word. I feel like I am kilometers, parasangs away from the microphone. And can you? I'm very tempted to be like this for the whole live stream, but I'm not gonna. Also, I have a very fitting. I really like when the mood I chose for myself fits like the vibe. And why am I saying that? Because I'm wearing her. I'm having her today as my fashion choice because what is not to love about Emma? And you say working. Oh, apologies for that. No apologies. My condolences. I can't English today. My brain is melting because it's been a week. It has been a week, and also, it's so warm. It is so warm already, and it's only like the 11th of April, but it is so warm and I don't like it. Nevertheless, I have of course, you can see the mug with no reflections and weird stuff. My Lion King mug with my hot, freshly made lemon tea. Why? Because I am free to choose my downfall. Downfall? No, downfall. Oh my god, the dyslexia is very powerful in me, this one. So you can hear me properly if I talk like this, right? I'm just very concerned that you cannot hear me because I'm not like this attached to the mic, but I'll power through that. Let's just remove Crew Lender's thesis for now. And the thing is, my other chair, it's too warm for me. I'm not comfortable enough on that one. I am on trying to get a new one. Why do I say trying? Because I just don't bring myself to do that. Because good chairs are expensive and Plumas is not made of gold. And I'm going to try to put this one like a wee bit lower. As you might have imagined by now, this is not my chair. I am borrowing it. And you can definitely tell. Okay, well, that's not how I'm supposed to sit in here. I have no clue how to put this and to move this. I should have thought of this before, shouldn't I? Yeah, definitely. This is not something to do live when you are about to be talking about the dreaming and the visions and divine refinement in Islam. Yet here we are. You know what you were coming to. Okay, so I'm going to. It's very fun to roll around with. I'm not going to lie. Okay, so again, I don't want to shout, but is this okay? Is this volume okay? Can you hear me properly? Because if not, something I can do is to. I just don't want to touch the microphone. It was. Bizia, how are you? I really don't want to touch the settings of the microphone. Do you? Like, okay, so I'm not gonna, I am loud. Oh, I know, I'm very much aware, Ellie, that I am loud. That for certain. That's one thing. And clear, hopefully I shall be clear for you in delivering my speech, because Bichar, today I'm very excited. Today we are going to talk about something that you patrons voted for. You're not in the Visirkar. Oh my god. How did that happen? How come you're not there? You're home. And I wanted to start by recommending a book, because I know you little ones are like bookworms as I am. And is this beauty? It's called, literally like the stream, Dreams and Visions in the World of Islam. This is a very tiny book, but it's perfect if it is the first time you read about the dreaming and the act of receiving messages from the above and beyond in Islam. I really like it, and I base part of this stream on this, but I also have some other readings like on my PDF. You know, patrons are getting the list as per usual, and this is such a nice book. I cannot recommend it to you enough. Is it Taudis? Yeah, of course it is Taudis. Like half of my library is from Taudis, and the other half is not, because I cannot afford it, because books are expensive. Salam Umberto, ciao, come stai? I hope you're doing well. I had a very, very tiring day, but I'm looking forward to the stream. I'm accompanying you. I'm sitting with you in the tiredness bench, because definitely today was a day. And I was recommended this book. It's called Dreams and Visions in the World of Islam by Elisabeth Sirrieh, who was, I'm reading now, I didn't know this, it was until her retirement senior lecturer in Islamic studies at the University of Leeds. Have you, Bachar, been in Leeds? Oh, thank you, Nasir Rose. Thank you for that. Leeds it's a fantastic city. I've been there both for fun and for work, and I do recommend that you visit Leeds. It's I've been there for the International Medieval Conference thingy twice, actually. Twice? Once? I don't know. Twice? I've been there. So it is good. I would recommend it. It is more than just a conference. It is such an experience, so to say. And the good thing is I stayed with a friend, and that made the whole thing much better, because my friend is lovely and I miss her. So if you are watching this, miss, you know who you are, and I miss you dearly. So, but look, Nasir Ross, mira. You can't see the mug properly. There's no reflections in it. You can see how beautifully yellow it is, and you can say Simba. Do you, Bachar, like The Lion King? Because I love it. This is from the musical, but I also love the film. Not big, like not keen on the live action though. It's like, yeah. But I love The Lion King. Is this? No, it's not. It is lemon, is green tea with lemon. And although it is supermarket bought, must say, it is nice. It scratches the specific part of my brain that requires to be scratched with lemon tea. Okay, allow me to just check something, because as always, oh yeah, I'm good. As always, I'm running not late, but I'm a bit of a disaster party. I think as months pass, I'm taking myself less and less seriously, and I'm enjoying it a tad, but also means that I am getting a little bit, I wouldn't say unprofessional, but distracted with the basic elementary things when you run a Twitch stream, which is number one, having all your images prepared. But I do have my images prepared, and I wanted to start the live stream with these beautiful one. Nance, oh my god, I'm not going to sing that, but it's the anthem for, you know, the circle of life. Que lo envuelve todo. And I'm really sorry, but that tune in Spanish, it's a banger. It's much better than the English one in more than one sense. Not hating on the English one. It's part of my childhood. I love it. But the Spanish one, though. Okay, so please feast your eyes in this incredibly beautiful Quran. This is called the Jarrah Pasha Quran, and it was made in Shiraz in 1580, or at least around 1580. This is currently at the Morgan Library in New York, which is my go-to place when I want to showcase Qurans. Not here, there. My dyslexia. Why don't you say something? You know I'm dyslexic. Here, I am pointing now to the Quran. And if you want ever to get nice, high quality photographies of any Quran, I do recommend strongly that you turn your eyes to the Morgan Library. There's multiple libraries that have a lot of Quran, but these one in here, I just like this one so much. And the reason why I selected some Quran is because we don't have pictures of the dreamers, or at least I don't have as many images as I normally do. What does that actually entail? It means that Plumas has managed to put, let me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 images instead of the regular 22. And that for me is very little because, as you know, I am an art historian, and images are very powerful message deliverers, same as dreams. Unilar. And also, if any of you are new here, which I know Illy is, well, Illy, first of all, there's an email in your account that I'm really looking forward for you to respond. And second, this is a very bilingual part. Whenever I'm talking in English, there's multiple things that I call myself bilingual, but yet I am not. But there's multiple things I don't know how to say in English. Therefore, I turn to my go-to Spanish. Oh, thank you, Nase Rose, for that mention over Discord. Okay, so today we are venturing into the fascinating world of dreams, visions, and interpretations revolving around them in Islam. And of course, that in Islam is too big and vast, but if you've been here before, you know that context will be provided. We love context in here. I am very tempted to make a t-shirt that says context, just for the fun and giggles. But honestly, context is fundamental, not only for properly understanding a historical phenomena, also to understand everything around it, and also to locate yourself perfectly in time and space, because there's so many subtleties that escapes us if we don't have a good context to whatever it is we're focusing on. And I am the lover of context, definitely. And if this is your first time here, welcome to the mountain. My name is Blue, as I was saying, and I'm going to entertain you for roughly an hour, I would say. Or perhaps more if you are particularly chatty. And what is that? Oh, loco, hi! The big questions, Uloko says, the big question being whether Muslims take their bad dreams as seriously as people in the Shahnameh do. Oh my god, we're going to talk about the Shahnameh, of course, because, the dreaming in the Shahnameh is a big part of it. I'm not focusing solely in the Shahnameh, because you know me, I could speak only and exclusively about that book forever and never shut up, because why would I? But I need to contain myself because I have the Shahnameh streaming for that. I always need to close the door to the Shahnameh, because it's like I don't want to call it a monster, but it is like a constant tide. Its waves coming and going, caressing my beach, and tempting me to get into the water and dive into the world of the Shahnameh. Not today though, at least not all the time. I just pick up this to take a sip and I didn't, so I'm going to. Thank you, Nasir Rose. If you want to go to the list of readings in the Shahnameh, just below here, Nasir Rose can provide. Because let us be realistic. What is it that our vizier cannot provide? There's a reason why he is the vizier, Bachar. Very, very much earned this position. Oh, Shamna Fizdal. I like that one. Yeah. So, what we're going to discuss here today is the practice of dream interpretation, or from the original word in Greek, oneiromancy, which has one of the wickedest names in the history of all mancies out there. I'm going to say that again just for the beauty of its sound. Oneiromancy, from the Greek word oneros, which means dream. Beautiful. If you can hear the motorbike, I'm really sorry. There is a fundamental figure to understand how oneiromancy was transmitted and established in the Islamic tradition. That is Muhammad ibn Sirin al-Basri, born in Basra, or maybe, I don't know if this is a way of pronouncing the name of Basra, but in Spanish we call it Basora, so perhaps it sounds more familiar. Serapis is such a beautiful word. This Muhammad ibn Sirin from now on, he was born in the city, as I was saying, the city of Basra in the year 33 of the Ishra and 635 of Common Era of the Gregorian calendar. Ibn Sirin was a scholar, a writer, and a religious academic of the time. And his book, The Dictionary of Dreams, is a piece definitely interesting to lay your eyes upon. Or is that all the oneiro nome? I think I could properly, I say me, but any person, honestly, someone could really gather all the examples of dreaming in the Shahnameh and fill a completely, like a full book, a book with its own entity, because there's so many. In fact, the Shahnameh is such a good example of everything we're going to talk about here. And that helps me reinforce this idea that I try to transmit to you whenever we read the book. The Shahnameh is a book written by a Muslim author in a Muslim atmosphere, in a Muslim word, for a Muslim audience. And that needs to be clear to understand the Shahnameh, because if not, there's something you're missing. It's not just pure fiction. It's not innocent whatsoever. But again, I'm not going to... Don't make me talk about the Shahnameh. I cannot resist. Lucía. Can you hear the cars on the street too bad? Because I have my window open. Because again, it's a wee bit warm. And but if you can't, I was going to say I'll close the door. No, I won't, because I will die. But is it okay though? Like the sound and the atmosphere, because I can hear them. Can you though? Okay. But yeah, I was talking about Ibn Sirin. Ibn Sirin died in 729 Common Era, and he became the foundation stone of dream interpretation and analysis from, you see, a very early moment for Islam. I am talking about a person that was alive in the last years of Prophet Muhammad. So you can see how fundamental dreaming and dreaming interpretation was from the very early stage in this new developed religion. By the time he passed away, look at this, the Umayyad Caliphate was barely starting to take off. Let's see a map for a moment, because if you know something about these plumas, is that I love my maps. And I particularly like this one because it's a PNG, so all the water bodies are in black. Anything is incredible. The part colored in orange is what would be the first military expansion of the Umayyad Caliphate. And these, when he passed away, it was only just, they were starting to reach other parts of the world. For example, is it 711 that the Umayyads reached the peninsula, the Iberian Peninsula, which is the part marked in yellow to the left, and left? To your left, I mean, towards that way. It is my right, because I have it on my right, but on my screen it's to the left, so... I mean, I hope I'm explaining myself. And this is how the world was looking when Ibn Sirin passed away. And this is how we need to put our minds to work in figuring, trying to convey and remember and reconstruct somehow. Reconstruct was the word I was looking for. How Islam was a newly established religion in all these territories. It was important, and like any other religion that has been newly established, there was this intensity about population, this intensity about cultural hopes to embrace this religion and to make themselves one with it. And this is going to provoke so much syncretism with other religions and other cultures that it is fantastic, because you know how much I love syncretism. It's the thing. Okay, let's see something else. What am I going to see? I want to show you this. No, not yet. I want to show you this. Oh yeah, I want to show you this. Where's my map? Okay, here. This is a 10th century Quran, and I just wanted to look. I just wanted you to look at it. Look at this calligraphy, this coffee, this ink, this black as night, and this separation of verses with this golden square. At least in my screen is a square, so it's beautiful. This is also in the Morgan Library. Again, the Morgan Library is my go-to for whenever I am in need of a Quran that I want to showcase. It's beautiful, isn't it? Those are the dots in the words. You know, this is the punctuation. It's just not dots. I'm not going to attempt to read it because I cannot read Arabic anymore. The Persian has broken everything inside my brain, but not that it was faux and constructed before that, but you know what I mean. And so self-conscious that you can do, okay, I swear this is going to be the last time I ask, can you butcher hear me properly? As in properly, not from like miles away, because I am so self-conscious that I'm just venturing and letting myself go and being chatty and verbose as per usual. And after, when I download the video to upload it to the Justus, the audio is going to be all over the place. So can you guys hear me? As in properly. And also, I don't want to hunch my back like, I don't want to do that. My posture is important. No. You sound perfectly from here. Okay. As I said, I promise last time I asked. Okay, so let's go back to Ibn Sirin for a wee bit. Without the echoes like the Spanish stream. The Spanish stream was a mistake. I mean, not the stream. The two audios coming together. I don't know how or why that happened. Well, let's go back to Ibn Sirin. In his teachings, Ibn Sirin maintained that dreams are voices from the unknown, the collective unconscious that come to us, as messengers and deliverers of destiny. If you, which I know you have, if you have been following our reading of the Shahnameh, it is not a secret for you how often dreams are not mere fantasies, but omens, predictions, glimpses of the future presented to the protagonist. And this is not exclusive to Islam. I invite you to name now all the modern media you know in which dreams play a key role if they are not pivotal for the development of the whole plot. These are some of the ones we gathered both from our Discord on my personal browse. I have Neon Genesis Evangelion. Duh. I mean, I love being a walking stereotype, but dreams are very important in Evangelion. Also Kingdom Hearts, the video game, Nemo or Little Nemo in Slumberland, The Sandman, Final Fantasy X, Wolf's Rain, which is an anime I strongly recommend you watch. Iron Widow, which is a beautiful fantasy novel that I enjoyed immensely. Dr. Javidan, which is a comic about Iskandar having terrible dreams after the sack of Persepolis. Dune, the novel, both novel and the film. And also Cardcaptor Sakura, the anime and the manga as well. Ask Zahox, Nostro Rosa and Avrosiab about his dreams. They will get in fetal position. Yes. And they will curl up and cry, embracing their knees. So you see, there is a long tradition of using dreams as recurrent deliverers of the plot, if you understand what I mean. It is a delivering of the plot, also in a religious context and circumstances. And we can also find a long tradition of dreaming in the sacred texts that were so influential for Islam. The same dreams Abraham/Ibrahim has about sacrificing his son, the dreams of Moses, about liberating his people from Egypt. How damn good the Prince of Egypt is. I'm not a particularly religious person myself, not quite. Like, I don't mind much about religion. It's not a fundamental part of my existence. But Deliver Us is an anthem. It's incredible. That film, though, that film ticks all the boxes. And also the same dreams Yusuf or Joseph had about basically everything Joseph dreamed about. Absolutely everything there was to dream about. In fact, if you realize probably that I said all the names in Arabic/Persian, that is because they are considered to be prophets in Islam. And with that phenomenon, it was also carried the acknowledgement of dreams as divine inspirations and revelations of the truth. I won't dive into a verbose explanation, although verbose is my second name, about dreams and their importance for cultures in general, because we could be here forever. Can you actually name a religion, mythology, culture, anything that has not a connection with the dreaming? I'll wait. Do you know of any mythology that does not include a person dreaming about something that is just about to happen, that has an omen of the future delivered in the shape of a dream to themselves? And they wake up like, like gasp. And so I think I'm going to use the same expression in a moment because I really like the waking with a gasp. I've seen that in so many films and read that in so many novels. It's ridiculous at this point. So I wanted to give you, nevertheless, a little sprinkle of information here. Dreams are pivotal, key, fundamental for the formation of cultures, religions, mythologies, superstitions, and human connections. And the practice of oneiromancy was already an extended phenomenon. We can think of the Assyrians, the Achaemenids, the Sasanians, and so on. And not only in the Fertile Crescent or the Iranian Plateau, there is also an intersection of Hellenic dream interpretation. The people from Hellas were also quite oftenly turning towards dream interpretation and dream reading. And there's also the Asian concept of the dreaming coming from the Far East and permeating and sprinkling themselves all over the Iranian Plateau and the Islamic religion. And all these ingredients we throw into the pot and would stir with love and create a new flavor, which is the Islamic dimension of oneiromancy. And we have, of course, the dreamer of dreamers. None other than Prophet Muhammad himself, the most important recipient of the divine knowledge via the slumber. The same Prophet Muhammad had many revelatory dreams regarding the new religion, which are constantly cited, not only in the sacred scriptures, not just in the Quran, but also in the Hadith, in oral tradition and jurisprudence. Often Muhammad resolves matters by addressing a dream he had in which God showed him the proper way of things by putting him to the test. Also, allow me a wee digression in here, because first I want to read what Nosferos just told me, and second, I want to mention something. I think it's a trope about the channels of communications in any myth, even Pastafarianism. What is Pastafarianism? Is this a religion of following the pasta spaghetti monster? And if I am insulting someone with this, apologies for my own ignorance. Educate me, people. Yeah, okay, yeah, then it is. The chill, the followers of the spaghetti monster are very chill. So what I wanted to tell you is that there's a reason why I chose this image of the ascension of Muhammad to heaven. First of all is because this episode, the Miraj, which is the journey to heaven, could be interpreted as a dream. And second is because I love this image. It's the manuscript. I'm going to just hold on for a moment. I really want you to see that full page. And because it is, oh my God, this is, oh God, look at the Kaaba, look at Mecca just below, and the Kaaba. This is just too much. This is wonderful, innit? Oh my God, I love this manuscript. This one is, I have the note over here. What? Oh, wait. Oh yeah, if these is the two introductory pages of a Hamza from Nizami, and look, this is Mecca. This is the city of Mecca with the Kaaba, the black square, the details on these, the mountains, the colors, everything is magnificent. And then these flame-like swirling clouds where the celestial court is receiving Muhammad, that is right in the back of Burak, his noble steed. This is so beautiful. Back to Muhammad, I promise. The third reason is because often I get asked if it was true that Muhammad could not be represented showing his face. And as you can see, this is the 15th century, this is 1494, and it was perfectly okay. The only difference lays on the how to say this in English? The school of thought that you are following. Some people believe it is not okay to show the face of the prophet. Some others prefer to represent the prophet just covering his face. And some others do not represent the prophet whatsoever. It's a symbol. It is something that points towards a divine presence, but there's no human figure to be discerned on the picture. However, others, like the Timurids, for example, thought no problem at all showing Muhammad as a human being and as a person. So you see, it's not forbidden. It only depends on which school of thought you are following. And I really want you to see this, because any quick Google search about Muhammad in Islamic art will give you the answers, because it's not just one manuscript, there's multiple, there's many of them. So there you go. La Pluma's trying to throw some light into a very, very, very controversial topic. At least controversial today, because back in the day, as you can see, it was not controversial at all. We were talking before the digression about how Muhammad received teachings in the shape of dreams. Is a grey area limited to the Prophet or extended to caliphs, especially the Rashidun ones? Mostly is only to the Prophet and those people connected to them by family links. That's the reason why the Rashidun Caliphate sometimes is also shown as covered. But yeah, family, Prophet and family of the Prophet. That's for certain the people they cover. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I was talking about how Muhammad was shown these dreams and with contain some teachings, and also he incorporated that into shaping the new religion, that was Islam. These tradition of dream revelations constructed the concept of awliyas, the chosen, or the friends that were designated by God to have a special connection to the realm of the unknown, and therefore to be the perfect vessels for prophetic dreams. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, not all dreams from everyone count. We're going to delve into that in a wee bit, but for example, just last night, I dreamt I went to a spa with one of my co-workers. And this co-worker had a very long, beautiful bane. This co-worker of mine, in reality, has his head shaved. The spa was supposed to be in the skirt of a mountain facing the sea. It was gorgeous. It doesn't exist. And when I jumped into the water, I was chasing a rabbit on horseback on the paved street of some Victorian city. My dreams are complex, that's one. But the second is, that was not an omen for anything. Not all dreams count. I know. Dreams, sorry, I had to say this. I'm not sorry. Dreams and jinn also share their part. But that is a subject for another let's go back now to Ibn Sirin, and we are going to, what can I show you now? I can show you this. Okay, I'm going to try my best. This is the introductory page of Kitab Suwar al-Kawakik al-Thabitha, which is the book of the constellation and fixed stars. This is the cover from the 12th century, and in this book, there's some mentions to the dreams. I just wanted to show you because I think it's gorgeous, and because I like to show you early manuscripts, not only the 15th century ones, but also the 12th century. I think this one was 1120, between 1120 and 1140, which is not saying much, I'm aware. But that is the dating the museum provided. I don't know where I got this from. I don't remember the library or the museum because I have a very big collection of images and sometimes I just don't remember the original source. When I do, I tell you, but in this case, I don't remember. Okay. Let's go back to Ibn Sirin, because all these contexts, all these mentionings of how the dreaming and the tradition of reading and interpreting these dreams, all of that I wanted to use to foretell you, basically, for help you understanding the circumstances in which he wrote his book, which I'm going to try to read the title in Arabic. It was Muntakhab al-Kalam fi Tafsir al-Ahlam, adapted to English as the Dictionary of Dreams, from which I'm going to tell you a story, because while preparing this video, I thought it was funny. Okay, so there once was a ship that put to sea, and the name of the ship was the Billy O.T. Sorry, nah, kidding. There once was a caliph that dreamt that all his teeth fell out. All his teeth. And the dream interpreter, upon receiving this information, declared that the whole family of his master will perish. Sorry. As you can imagine, the caliph was not particularly cheaper about it. So he called a second dream interpreter, because that's what happens when you're a caliph. You have multiple dream interpreters so you can choose on demand. And he called a second dream interpreter, who explained that the dream actually meant that the caliph would live the longest among his relatives. Which, if you understand how language works, is basically saying the same things, but with other words. Dude, like, us humans are a bloody mess. Immediately after, the caliph hugged the man, the second interpreter, and rewarded him for his tact and skill in dream reading. Is there a moral to the story? Probably. But what I extracted while reading it was that we humans have this tendency to dance to the tune that accommodates us the most. Excuse me. Even if said tune contains the most terrible news ever. But oh well, when you put it like that, and that you should stick with a dream interpreter that tells you exactly what you want to hear, of course. Apologies again. Yeah, exactly. The second opinion, no soy Ross, is exactly the same, but said with, in other words, all your family is going to die. Oh no, you will live the longest among your relatives. Oh yeah. Humans, we are fun. Okay, so back to the practice of oneiromancy in Islam. What resulted was something innovative regarding the anchoring of the tradition of dream interpretation to the new cultural demand. And what was required was to find legitimate references in the authoritative sources, which are the Quran in the very first place, and then the Sunnah, a set of traditional customs and practices associated with the Islamic prophet Muhammad and other early Muslim figures. Since we are talking about the Quran, I'm going to show you something that I know Serapis likes very much. And I do too. It is a tiny Quran. It's a portable Quran. How cool is this? This is like, I don't have anything. Damn it. I wanted to bring something of the size, around the size of this, but it is like this big. If they compare to my face, something like that. And it has this, if you can see, there is two pieces of metal in which I'm guessing some leather strap or maybe piece of fabric would be attached to, and then you can hang that around your neck or just around your shoulders and bring it with you. And it is the whole Quran. It's not even like a summarized version of it. And I just love it. I think it's beautiful. I think it's very smart because this way you can take your prayers with you and perform the five prayers the five prayers of the day that Islam requires. I think it is not only ingenious but also beautiful. It is very beautiful. I'm not sure if the box is silver. I could look it up if you're interested, but I don't know off the top of my head. Nevertheless, it's beautiful. Since we are talking about the Quran, once these narrative and literary anchors were secured, over time, new theories about theology and philosophy of dreams, which contextualize the dream experience, appeared within both the intellectual heritage and the sciences. See? They also knew how context is fundamental for success, because remember, not everything is valid, and knowing when and where helps us tremendously to properly comprehend why. I know, right? It is an hexagon. Possibly it was the way of fitting the most text on the pages, I want to think. Because cutting round might be a tad difficult, and I'm not sure. I'm just. Where is the link to get a cute Quran like that on Amazon? I can look for that for you. Yes. Okay. Unfortunately, everything that I'm seeing on the website are mini versions of the Quran, but not a cute Quran like the one I'm showing you on the screen. I'm really sorry, Waxen. But it's nice that you like it though. So my bacha. Today we will be talking about dreams connected to the Quran and the oral tradition of the Hadith and the Sunnah. The Quran is a sacred book of Islam and offers a connection between the spiritual and the physical realms, a link between our daily reality and the other one. Al-Ghaib, the occult, the absent, the unseen realm. Yes, this is where the jinn live in Al-Ghaib. This realm has been created in such a fashion that overlaps with our existing reality. However, our mortal eyes are not made for seeing it. And occasionally, if someone can properly see Al-Ghaib, to peep into Al-Ghaib, that is an indicator of an urgent problem that needs to be solved. With haste, I mean. Al-Ghaib is not a reality that us humans are supposed to be in contact with. We are not supposed to see it. Therefore, it's named the occult or the unseen. And yes, this is where some of the jinn dwell. And how the Quran establishes the significance of divine revelations being delivered as dreams, we've seen already. By taking the biblical tradition of dreamers and adapting the stories. We've seen Musa, Yusuf, and Ibrahim, but this adaptation of the dreaming narrative was not only connected to literary or religious characters. The wife of the Prophet, Aisha, who, if I remember properly, she is the youngest one, she is said to have seen her future husband in a dream. She saw the effigy of Muhammad in a piece of silk carried by an angel. So you see there's a link between Muhammad, the dreamers who were among his followers and closest friends, and the spiritual experience. Some hadiths even tell that Muhammad, was even granted visions in the form of dreams before even being designated as a prophet. And I think is wonderful. This topic, as you can imagine, was among the favorite of the scholars. Let's see another Quran. Another, I haven't shown you them already. Oh, this one. Okay, so this is not a Quran. But this is the two frontal pages. This is a frontispiece, which means piece of the front. The two starting folios of a wonderful 16th century manuscript of Maghzan al-Azrar, the treasure of secrets, which if you have watched our live stream about Nizami Ganjavi, you know about already. And if not, you can find that one either here on Twitch or on YouTube, I believe. I don't know, I'm very bad at this. So yeah, this is the Maghzan al-Azrar. And it is that blue, that indigo blue. Oh wow, and that gold. And this is a very good scan because the page is not that dull whatsoever. No. The paint is gold. And taking pictures with a normal phone is really difficult because it reflects absolutely everything. It's so gorgeous. By the way, allow me to yet educate you a little bit more because I can't get enough since I am not a historian. This is what we consider to be an illuminated page. Because in Islamic manuscripts, we don't have miniatures. Miniatures belong to European manuscripts because they have their own tradition. In Islamic manuscripts, we have illuminated, which means they don't contain any figurative forms. There's a note to this, and also illustrations, illustrated manuscript, because saying miniatures is not correct. And I will die defending these cause. I know there's it's still a big tendency to call them manuscripts that miniatures. They're not. Trust me, some of them are like this big. You cannot call something this big a miniature. So yeah, you can say Persian painting. Negargari is a word they use in Persian, and Persian. Or you can say illustrations because Also, now, you could tell me, plumas. I can see an animal and I can see some trees. Yes, this is because it has margins, decorative margins, but those are not considered to be, illustrations that interrupt the illumination. And also, you will never, ever see decorative margins in a Quran because images do not belong in the religious context. In a Quran, people wanted it to be illuminated in the sense of this beauty, this center frame, beautiful golden shapes with these petal forms. Sorry, I get lost into it. But you won't see illustrations in a Quran. In the rest, yeah, of course. I learned this difference in an amazing course. I think you know my teacher. Thank you, Nasir Rose. I was the teacher. It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. Thank you, Nasir Rose. Honestly, te quiero mucho. Te quiero mucho. Ya está. Que no tiene. So, I was saying that this topic was the dreaming and dream interpretation was among the favorite for writers and scholars. The dreams of the Prophet, since from them stem all the traditions for dream interpretation. So much so that one of the most revered collections of sayings of Muhammad, the Sahih al-Bukhari, includes a whole chapter dedicated to dreams and their significance. And these I gathered here from my readings. These are some of the main ideas gathered around the oniric realm. First of all, first interesting thing I extracted from the research for this stream. There was a saying, a good dream is one between 47, one possibility among 47, a prophecy. Because the scholar Ibn Khaldun, active in the 15th century, explained the maths behind this. I'm not even kidding, the mathematics. Yes, if you know anything about Islamic sciences, you'll be familiar with maths. They tend to be included in absolutely everything. The Iranian scholars particularly were big enthusiasts of the spiritual math. This is not something I just made up. it is a thing, I promise. It's a real thing, the spiritual math. One day I can tell you about it. But back to the one between 46 of a prophecy. Ibn Khaldun stated that Prophet Muhammad spent 23 years in his official mission as a prophet. The period during which dreams anticipated the revelation was 6 months. So 6 months prior to being appointed as the prophet, he was having dreams about it. So if we divide 23 years between the 6 months of dreaming, there's a mathematical possibility of 1 between 46 of receiving a revelation in a dream, like happened with Muhammad. Mathematics for dream interpretation. This is just, Ibn Khaldun was too much. He was a Renaissance man. I mean, he was active in the 15th century, but he just knew about everything, like many other scholars I know. But Ibn Khaldun, he's something else. Ibn Khaldun is something else. It's just las matemáticas. Math. Dude, you can calculate which of your dreams contains an omen by following this formula, that is. Another idea contained in the Sahih al-Bukhari is that dreams have a common language of symbols that can be interpreted. Prophet Muhammad interpreted both his own and his companions' dreams. And among them, there was Omar, the second of the Orthodox caliphs, who was known for being wise and just. It was prophesied that he would become these wise when, in his dreams, Muhammad saw Omar drinking milk or wearing a long shirt whose ends trailed down. These two, drinking milk or having this shirt on, apparently are indicators for a person to become wise over time. I'm sorry, am I the only one who's this enthusiastic about the topic? Because every sentence I am reading to you from my script, I find fascinating. The fact how important, I want to do a reflection here for a wee second, how important dreams were for these people, that they went through all this effort to convey a system that was valid. It is incredible. Of course, they had to systematize absolutely everything. Is Islamic sciences, is the Arabian Peninsula, and Bacolmo is the Iranian Plateau. Of course, they are going to put everything, into a formula, into a system, into a set of steps to be carefully followed, because these people invented bureaucracy. It's incredible. It is incredible in the best possible way. And I'm really happy that my patrons chose this, because this topic also, I just remember this one. It was established that whoever saw Muhammad in dreams was not being tricked by the jinn or Iblis themselves. You know who Iblis is? He is El Diablo. Iblis is the devil, because none of these creatures were powerful enough so they could take the shape of the prophet. This is a piece of law for you narrative lovers. The jinn can never turn into the prophet. They can shapeshift into anyone on the planet, but never, ever into Prophet Muhammad. They are not that powerful. Not even Iblis is. As a teacher, I want to use dreams as sources like the ancients did, but never count as Herodotus. To be fair, using dream as sources is incredible, and I want that back, because my thesis would have been so much easier if I was allowed to quote from my dreams. However, depending on the moment you caught me writing my thesis, those dreams were probably terribly dark nightmares. But oh, sorry, okay, sorry. I'm back. I am. Sorry, it's just an urgent message. Okay, there you go. Sorry, it's something. The things of having it, the things online and live. Okay, so another thing. There was a technique to chase the bad dreams away. The religious tradition established nightmares were the work of the jinn and ultimately of Iblis, because he is in absolutely every soup and cocido out in the world. In order to keep them at bay, one should wake and pray and not tell this bad dream to anyone. Also, they were advised to spit 3 times on the left side. Among all traditional remedies for ill feelings or combating ill feelings, such as giving charity or reading the Quran. The Quran is used for practically everything regarding what we could call practical magic, such as feeling better after having a bad headache or stomach ache, having a nightmare, and exactly 1, 2, 3, caramba, there's Herodotus, our friend. So you see, Quran is their main source because it's their sacred book. It is the first thing they're going to look up to. They're going to look something into. It's their source. Another super interesting idea in the Sahih al-Bukhari is that some nights held more power to inspire revelatory dreams than others. For example, the last 10 days of a month with odd numbered nights. And before you start counting in our Gregorian calendar, bear in mind, Bachar, that the Islamic calendar is lunar and not solar. So don't count January, February, March, April. Let's see another image because I just can't get enough. Oh, I didn't show you where Basra is. This is, sorry, I should have put this map up before. That red dot marked down below, that is where Ibn Sirin was born. That is Basra, al-Basra, in modern day Iraq. But I wanted to show you, what else can I show you? Let's go back to this one because it's so beautiful. All right, so I think we have established that dreams and its interpretation were a big deal on Islam. And as you can imagine, there would have been many people claiming to have witnessed X or Y in a dream. Because charlatans have existed since the dawn of time, and seeking truthfulness and veracity are but fundamental for the exercise of dreaming interpretation. Something that caught my attention was that you were not advised to tell your dreams. You were not advised not to tell your dreams to children. I did not find a particular reasoning behind it, but there you have it. It just caught my attention. And so perhaps a question you have is that, okay, Plumas, if you said that not all dreams are valid, and these people put so much effort into creating a system and a formula that conveyed a truthful manner of interpreting a dream, what do we do with a this is like I am very stingy today. What do we do when we have to know if we just had a truthful dream or not? Dream manuals. Yes, dream manuals were actually a part of the literary subgenre of divinatory literature. The Dictionary of Dreams by Ibn Sirin is among these books. Because of course these people were to create manuals of instructions to be followed in order to interpret properly a dream. To discern if it was a vision and it contained any kind of message or not. Isn't this incredible and fascinating? The fact that these manuals actually existed and could be consulted and studied. There was a manual, a book, such as this one, to educate yourself in the art of interpreting properly a dream. That is mind-blowing. It was a genre of literature. Yes, a subgenre, I just said that, but it was something popular. How much does that information tell us about the culture of the time, about the early centuries of Islam, about the practice and the shenanigans and shebangs people got into. It is incredible that to this day we preserve these manuals to consult and to read, because in these pages you can actually extract, from these pages you can actually extract what people were the most worried about, what they cared for the most repetitive topics, and how they resolve them. I had so much fun researching for this live stream. It is an entire new world, and there's so much, mind you, that I left outside, because if not, I mean, I had 8 pages. I do have 8 pages of a script, 8! And I'm going through them as fast as I can, because I'm aware that I cannot, hold you here for the entire weekend. But I would be talking about this non-stop, because I do believe it's fascinating. And I really hope I am paying it justice to transmit to you how mind-blowing and incredible this is. Because you know what, we are so self-centered that we believe in our Western modern day technological society that we created manifestation, that we created this thing about putting into the universe and expressing our emotions and shouting our dreams so they will become a reality. We did not invent manifestation. These people did ages ago, and possibly centuries prior to the very first dream manual to be published, someone was doing such already. Because we are humans, and this shows you how little we've changed and how very much similar we were to the people in the past. Because yeah, you could say, oh my god, dream manuals, that is so not okay. That is so weird and strange. Why would you consult a dream interpreter? Excuse me, do you believe in the horoscope? Do you believe that you have a certain stone attached to your date of birth that gives you this energy? Do you believe in energy? Do you believe in the universe sending you messages? It is the same spirituality wearing different coats. And I am the happiest when I have the chance to talk about these things, because it's very exciting, showcasing how similar we humans as a species and as a culture, like a global culture, I don't know if I can use that word here, but how similar we've been through the ages. I'm just going to continue. So yeah, dream manuals. And they were not originally conveyed by the Arabic population of the early centuries of Islam, but derived from the translation of actually Greek manuals. There's one in particular, that of Artemidorus, a professional diviner and interpreter who lived in Hellas around the 2nd century Common Era. This appears to be I can't speak. One of the most common sources for Muslim writers, regardless some adaptations, of course, that had to be made in the symbols and the interpretation for cultural and religious reasons. Many of the essential ideas and organizing principles that gave shape to the developing Oneiro-critic tradition were found supposedly in Greek manuals, although I do believe the Islamic authors took a lot of liberties, because we've seen them doing that already. When they translate from the Greek, they also incorporate their own, which is fantastic, because this creates a new book, not just a translation. So I can't stop. The dictionaries included an introduction of the author, explaining their techniques and methodology, pretty much like a modern day dissertation or thesis. Like mine, for example. Ibn Qutayba's manual, who, by the way, Ibn Qutayba died in 889 Common Era. So again, very, very early. Qutayba provides in his manual 9 methodological principles. And because I love Serapis and I love Umberto, I've brought the 9 principles of Ibn Qutayba, because I can't be stopped and I won't be stopped. And because what is in this world that Umberto loves more than a list or a system? But yeah, at this point, Umberto's family. It's Umberto Familia. I've said this already. I will say that as many times as it is required. Umberto, you've been adopted. I am honestly so sorry for you. Okay, so let's start with the first principle. The first principle is the use of the etymology of the dreamer's name, or, as an alternative, the etymology of the object that figures the most in the dream. This could provide an ominous context to the reading. And here come maths again. So a further and advanced technique involved calculating the numeral values for names or objects according to the Arabic system of numerology, the Abjad. But we will talk about that some more time, I promise. Of course. Cheers for Umberto. Cheers to you. I was going to call you something in Spanish, and then I don't know if I'm allowed to. I am allowed to call you something, like a cute nickname in Spanish, Humberto. I want your consent. Thank you, Nociros. Okay, so yeah, we can talk about the Abjad some more time because it's super interesting. Because every letter had attached a number, and these were used for making like calculation. Okay, so por tu corazón precioso hermoso. The second principle was the extrapolation from sorry, this is a word that in English for me is very difficult to pronounce. In Spanish it's característica, but in English it's characteristics. It's difficult. Okay, the extrapolation from characteristics of the objects seen in the dream. Here we have another scholar's subtleties, nebuluses, but okay, I'm going to read you a quote. I'm going to read you straight from my script because I have a note to myself and it says, I don't know if this is too much. Ask if they want to know. Then see PDF if they want to know. So, do you want to know about the 3 aspects of the dream according to Nabulusi? If not, it's okay. I'm very much aware. I've been talking for an hour and almost 15 minutes. I'm aware it is too much. It's all right. Oh, Waxen, why do I ask why again? Because you were in the first live stream, but there's different people today with us. So I want the answers. Okay. I knew you were going to because you know me and I know you. And we are very happy with each other. Okay, so of course we want to know Eric Corazon. Okay. So I'm going to, what we're going to talk about here is 3 aspects fundamental that you could extract from the dream to obtain information. Okay, here we go. I'm going to read towards that way because I have my notes in here. So according to Nabulusi, a dream has 3 fundamental aspects: the category, the type, and the disposition. The category is like trees, wild animals, or birds, and these usually are symbols for people. This is a category. What are we seeing? What are we looking at? Are we looking at a tree? Are we looking at a wild animal? Are we looking at, a bird? Something like that. Then there's the type. The type is to discern what type of tree, animal, or bird it is. The example Nabulusi uses is a palm tree. If the tree is a palm, this means an Arab man is appearing in or being mentioned in the dream, because the growing places for most palms are in Arab countries. However, if you see a bird, and this is the type, what are you seeing? A bird. And what kind of bird it is? A peacock. This is the type. It means a non-Arab, and if it's an ostrich, it means a Bedouin Arab. Again, this is from Nabulusi's. Then we have the disposition. The disposition is that you take into account disposition of that tree and apply it to a person with that characteristic. For example, if the tree is a walnut, it will apply to a person who is difficult to deal with and argumentative in a debate. If it's a palm tree, it will be applied as he's being a person who benefits with goodness productive and easygoing, since God says in the Quran, see there's the Quran again to reinforce these statements. Like a good tree, the roots of the palm tree are firm and its branches reach the sky. So the palm tree is a symbol for the upper life, the non-earthly existence, the divine and such. If the bird is flying, if you see a bird that is flying, indicates that this person referenced in the dream travels a lot, like a bird. Then its disposition is considered. If it's a peacock, then it indicates good looking, wealthy foreigner. I love this so much. Likewise, if it's an eagle, then it indicates a king. And if it's a crow, it indicates a corrupt, disloyal, and lying person, according to a saying of the prophet. Because what happened is that Noah sent out a crow to know whether the water had receded or not, and it found a corpse floating on the water and landed on it and didn't come back. So crows should be trusted, which is a very sad lie, because actually ravens and corvids are among the smartest creatures on earth. I love me crows. If it's a vulture, this continues, there's a warlike, tyrannical, sinful, terrifying person. Like the vulture with its talents and body and power over the birds, and it's, rending the flesh. So you see, these three categories could be analyzed to obtain some kind of information and locate more precisely the dream's message. So happy you wanted to know, honestly. No tengo raya. There's not today. There's not. I think not. The green screen is okay. Okay. So relocating myself. That was the second principle, which had to do with categories and extrapolating information from the characteristics of the objects seen in the dream. The third methodological principle, according to Ibn Qutayba, consists of finding correspondences to the ideas revealed in the dream with Quranic verses. We've seen this. Again, is the first source you are to consult, is a sacred book. I'll give you an example. There is a direct relationship between women and eggs, because there is a verse in the Quran that says that chaste women who restrain their eyes are likened to well-guarded eggs. If the Quran says so, it is a statement, it is reality. Then the fourth principle is finding these same correspondences in prophets' sayings. And then the fifth is finding correspondences in proverbs and poetry. I don't know which poetry, unfortunately, they didn't specify. But in my particular case, I will use, of course, the Shahnameh, the Divan Hafiz, or the Masnavi from Maulana or Rumi. Okay. The sixth principle is twofold: opposition and inversion. So basically, seeing something in a dream may actually indicate the opposite. That is another system you could use. The seventh principle only says increase and decrease. That's it. And please, I open the floor now. I invite you to wonder what the Frank Sinatra that means. The eighth principle is using the time of the year as a source of information. And finally, Ibn Qutayba's last principle is to acknowledge the state of the dreamer. Although it's not precise, and I don't know if they mean the mental state, the physical state, the spiritual state, all of them, or none. I'm possibly sure it's like a collection of circumstances around the person. It's what, at least it makes more sense in my head. Like, acknowledge how the person is with all their circumstances and such. After, I'm going to put the image of Muhammad again, but I'm going to move it and I'm going to show the Kaaba because I can't, because it's my stream and I want to. So after this introduction, in which the author of the Dream Manual was explaining the methodology, followed a catalogue of symbols and subjects organized by categories, like dreaming of the prophet, of flowers, of fish, of occupations, of birds. And these subjects could evoke positive, negative, or neutral evaluations from the dreamer's perspective. Actually, these manuals were written in quatrains, that is, in verse, in order to facilitate memorization. That happens with the Shahnameh. Do you remember I mentioned that a few times? It's just exactly like it happens with the Shahnameh. What do we learn from the way these books are written, the language they choose, and the organization they present? That the books were not used by individuals, as we will consult, a dictionary ourselves. Like, oh, I have a doubt. I'm going to just this. No. The Dictionary of Dreams, the Dream Manual, would be used by a professional an interpreter, a professional dream interpreter. They would be required. However, do not think that anyone served as an interpreter. Another section of the manuals was dedicated to list the qualities desirable in a dream interpreter. Taking into account all the methodologies which is listed, the interpreter should have knowledge about so many things. They must have been so highly educated people. Like, for example, the canonical sources of Islam, the Quran, for sure. You would need to know the Quran A from Z. The poetry, an enormous amount of poetry, then Proverbs, many other things. In fact, some manuals from what nowadays is Pakistan or India include astrological and numerical charts to facilitate the performance of subsidiary types of divination, meaning that sometimes something else was required, and that would include astrological knowledge, astronomical knowledge, so much. So these people, the professional dream interpreters, I really don't want you to imagine them as just pure charlatans that will go on and about rumbling about whatever, saying, oh, you dreamt of a shoe, that means you're gonna lose your shoe tomorrow. No, these were educated. These was a serious job, Bacha. These were highly prepared and educated people. The least they could do was going to university and study law, because they had to know so much. That's the reason why they worked for, the higher circles of society. I'm thinking kings, generals, judges, people with money, and people that could offer them the enormous amount that required, in order to pay for this service that was expensive, because you had to go through so much to form, to form yourself and study. There were not many people that could pay for them, although we have notice of local dream interpreters that would take payment from, like lesser dream interpreters that would take payment from the common folk. But again, I hope I'm explaining myself properly. This is not a joke. It was not a joke to them. As I made this reflection before, as much of strange or odd that this idea of dream interpretation appears to us now, and how professionalized it was, for them it was not. It was something very serious, because remember that the most important person in Islam, who is Muhammad, had dreams and revelations from God themselves in a dream. The Quran was the book saying that it was not just okay to have visions in dreams, but it was expected. And the most sacred of the sacred people did that. So this is everything I have for you today, Bacha. I really hope I managed to explain properly this vast and incredibly nuanced and interesting world of the dreamers and dream interpretation. I am positive I'm going to talk about this again, because in all honesty, there's so much I left out, like so much. I can't get enough of this. We've covered 8 pages of a script, and I could have kept going. Definitely, it could. It was so interesting. It was so naturally driven. And if you read books like this, I'm going to just show that on screen for a moment. You can take a photo. And if not, it's going to be up on Discord, which I invite you to join. If you like to join our beautiful family in our mountain on Discord, I'm going to post that one there too. So there you have it. This has been dreams and interpretations and visions in Islam and how they dealt with it. I hope you liked it. I sure had a fantastic time. Focus. Nina, focus. But for now, we have to say our goodbyes. And where's my me? So thank you for choosing to accompany me with chat today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you rested your head a little. You know that I got to distract you by teaching you in somehow entertaining manner. I've done my best because about these these topics that are not my area of expertise, I kind of attempt to tread carefully. But thank that was great. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much, Bachar. It was a really lovely discussion today. It was really breaking. It was from a migraine. Okay, I'm glad that your migraine is somehow gone away. Thank you so much, Bachar. Remember that on Monday we resume our reading of the Book of Kings, and trust me, you don't want to miss this one because we are starting one of my sub-narrative arcs that are they're my favorite because we're going to talk about Give venturing into Turan to find, or why not, Kai Khosrow. I will be meeting you on Monday. I am positive it will be at 6 as per usual, but I don't know yet because life happens occasionally and I need to be prepared. It's like a dream to tremendo directazo. Thank you, guys, a lot. Cheers to you. The seafair boy, yes, the little merman. Yeah, he's floating around somewhere. So, thank you again so much for joining this session today. Thank you to my patrons for choosing this live stream. I am very, very excited that you did because it was among my favorites. And yeah, you, my patrons have very, very nice criteria, and I am delighted with their choices. Thank you, not only for sponsoring me, but also for choosing wisely. And that will be about it. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Don't get too tired. And as per usual, I cannot say goodbye without reminding you to never stop creating, exploring, and having tons of fun. Until we see each other next time, I bid you Khodafis!